The next slide. That should be confronted. I know that those who are far away won't be able to see all this, but this is just showing the drugs there. But the important thing is that opioid misuse is a significant public health crisis globally, and we need to tackle that as a country. It is therefore fitting that the Pharmacy Council draws our attention as pharmacists to the problem.
Well, before we go, while Senior High School NAPA West National Science and Math Quiz qualifiers yesterday flipped the script on conventional science quiz expectations, booking a spot at the 2025 Nationals with 2 ICT students, none of whom offer biology, in a regional showdown that saw them dominate with 47 points. There's more on the following report.
In a competition where biology is a core subject, not having a biology student on stage could easily spell disaster. But for WAS Senior High School, it was just another hurdle, and they leapt over it with style.
It was easy. It was easy, easy.
It was easy. Then why didn't you get over 70 points?
You have to at least show some mercy to your opponents. Mercy. We were pitiful though.
Cool, calm, and completely unfazed, while SHS's ICT duo tackled biology questions like naturals, answering with the confidence of seasoned biology students.
And that's it for this morning's bulletin here on Joy 99.7 FM. I am Amazing Amateur Thompson. Up next is business on the Super Morning Show.
Oh, jump on now.
Go. Google me. At what time when you come back, we are not hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I not change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind, Seth, be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium, they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open them.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside?
I give you info. Make her feel the gobe too small.
Go.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
See, your rich auntie gets more from Absa. Your childhood friend gets more from Absa. Your favorite uncle gets more from Absa. Your roommates gets more from Absa. Digital solutions get more from Absa. Rewards be bring get more from Absa. 5-star treatment get more from Absa. Preferential rates get more from Absa. Easy banking and no ane Absa. Instant loans and no ane Absa. Bank papa party and no ane Absa. ATK account and get more from Absa. Yes, join thousands of Absa customers enjoying priority treatment, preferential rates, amazing rewards, and seamless digital solutions to help you write the next big chapter of your story. Sign up for an Absa account today and get more. Your story matters. Absa.
Yeah! She was saying, get a Pepsodent charcoal toothpaste.
Reliable, check. Comfort, check. Strong, check. Tough, check. Tried and tested, check. Affordable, check. Comes in so many colors and sizes, check. Suitable for domestic and industrial use, check. Choose quality, choose Syntex Tank. Available nationwide and comes with 7-year warranty. And remember, Syntex Tank is a caring brand too. Syntex Tank, a strong, a tough.
Let me share my experience with you at the new Aqua Safari Resorts. When you arrive, you're greeted by warm smiles and introduced to your 24-hour butler who already has your itinerary sorted. Enjoy water sports activities like jet ski rides, kayaking, water sliding, flyboarding, and castanet fishing. You can even have your lunch here on the boat cruise. Let the tour guides take you through the sceneries of the mangrove forest, the friendliness of the animals, while you pet and feed them. We chose to have our breakfast with a beautiful sunrise right in front of our cabin. cabin.
Visit Aqua Safari Eco Resort in Ghana, bringing you closer to nature.
Day and night, power your life. Steady lights, not a future brighter. Pay small, start today. Find your comfort, the translate way. Doom so now it's thing of the past. Strong solar power built to last. Clean and green for a low price. Don't waste your time, call Translite. The bill go drop when the sun go rise. No more darkness, everybody shine. No wahala, no more stress. Brand new solar, only the best. Charlie, start today. Have your freedom, the Translite way. Feel the power in every ray. Fresh energy, the Translite way. With Translite Solar FlexiPay, you can get a complete solar power system for as low as 49,000 Ghana cedis.
Call us today at 050-424-9229 or 020-654-2454.
Translite Solar. Translite Solar.
All right, so welcome back, and thank you very much for staying with us here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. The 6 a.m. news brought to us by Absa Bank Ghana Limited. Your story matters. And Total Energies Total, we go the extra mile for you, which means we can now bring you the Joy Business Report, brought to us by MNC Properties, a member of MNC Group. MNC Properties, choice of class, and Safari Valley Resort, bringing you closer to nature. And then Omni Basic Bank, not just another bank. Darryl.
Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm great. I was expecting you to call me by something else, but
I know.
You went for my first name. Hi.
Yeah, I know. I hope everything is fine. You had a good night's sleep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I had a good night's sleep. The weather allows you to sleep well. Yeah.
Yeah, the weather's good, you know.
We're going to be having this for 2 months, I hear.
Yeah, you know. And yesterday I heard somebody saying we'll come back next year to understand a few things.
I get it.
Yeah, but you know, it's good. For me, the most important thing is, our ability to conserve power. You know, I don't remember the last time I turned on my air conditioner. So I've been enjoying. You know, Charlie, you're actually cold. And for those of us who are not able to bathe with warm or hot water, Charlie, it's some way, you know.
Yeah,
but it's still fun. I enjoy it. You know, you pour one on, and you run small. Anyway, look, this morning we're joined by the Deputy Roads and Highways Minister, Hassan Suhini. So,
great.
Yes, all the conversations we've been having about our roads. Look, get on to X, use the hashtag JoySMS, and then on WhatsApp 05511119997. What are your questions? You have concerns with your roads. He has the answers. He'll be telling us whether your road is part of the agenda for this year, maybe next year. So stay with us here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. But also coming up this morning, we'll be finding out more about the Chinese miner and his driver who were killed in the Western North region. Erastus Asaridonko has updates. He'll be telling us more. You know, I asked you this morning, we had a backstory, and so Erastus will tell us what really happened.
And lately, I'm just getting concerned about, stories about people being killed. The crimes are so many. I don't know why.
Yeah, crimes are many.
It's just so troubling.
But you see, when it comes to illegal mining, Darryl, I don't know why we pretend so much in this country when it comes to mining. When the NDC was in opposition, they promised that they were going to deal with the kingpins. Yes, it's been 6 months. You say, but it's only 6 months. Is not only.
Was it just talk?
The Speaker of Parliament says they know themselves. He actually accused members of Parliament.
I remember that.
Why? National security. We don't know those who are engaged in illegal mining. They know. And you've heard Erastus saying it right here on the Super Morning Show, that the only thing that has changed now is that you've had members of the NDC saying, Yenso ya buy naba, munya ni tubi. And that's the problem.
So, people are right when they say, these mining kingpins are affiliated to political parties, and that makes it difficult to fight it.
Yeah. You know, in this country, if you engage in anything illegal, what you have to do is to get affiliated to a political party. And they actually will change. When they realize this party is about to lose the election, they move to the next party.
That's not good.
So all they do is that they just continue like that. So we're going to get into that conversation also here on the Super Morning Show. The CEO of the National Ambulance Service, Dr. Nuhu Zakaria, has been relieved of his position. What happened?
Some people say, why?
Yeah, why?
He was doing his work.
I've known him since 2015, and at that time, he was still with the ambulance service. He's been there. So, what has changed? Why now? We'll get into it. And the NPP and Ablekuma North.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
You'll be busy. Good luck.
Well, they had, their injunction application thrown out. They had indicated they were not going to participate in any rerun. Will there be a change of mind? What happens tomorrow? They can't campaign today. It's only a day to the elections. So stay with us here on the Super Morning Show. These and many more stories coming up. And as always, we do this with you. So get on to X, use the hashtag JoySMS, and then on WhatsApp 055-1111-997, which means we can now bring you the trumpet. And brought to us by ECG. Follow at ECG Official on all platforms. Join our vibrant WhatsApp channel and call 0302-611-611 for more information. Who gets the trumpet today?
Leila Paintil. They're telling me about her, right?
Oh, Leila.
She raised very important questions, critical questions. Maybe you want to prove her wrong.
No, I haven't told you anything.
Good morning, Leila Paintil. This morning's trumpet is for you.
Yeah, she loves the trumpet. And so, on that note,
trumpets. Hi, good morning. Welcome to the Joy Business Report. Coming up this morning, government to start drawing down International Monetary Fund cash from Bank of Ghana to finance budget projects. Also coming up, Finance Minister Dr. Kansela to force and targets capitalization of all government-owned commercial banks by next year. And Chamber for Bulk Oil Distributors rules out any significant increase in petroleum prices if one cedi fuel levy is imposed due to the city's gains and stable global crude oil prices. Details coming up. My name is Daryl Kwao. Thanks for joining us. Hello to our friends listening from Koforidon KT Radio. Government will, in the coming days, start drawing down the $367 million IMF cash from the Bank of Ghana. The IMF yesterday formally credited the Bank of Ghana's account after the board approved disbursement on Monday. The central bank will take the dollars and give the cedi equivalent to the Finance Ministry upon request. The withdrawals will be advanced towards finances and projects and expenditure in the 2025 budget. Meanwhile, the Finance Minister, Dr. Kansela Tuforsen, is targeting to recapitalize all government-owned commercial banks by next year. Government has already taken the lead with the National Investment Bank with some 1.4 billion cedis. Here's George Affe.
The banks that are under consideration are Agricultural Development Bank, Consolidated Bank Ghana, and the National Investment Bank. Now, all these financial institutions, government has controlling interest together with other state institutions. Already, the Finance Ministry has moved quickly to support the National Investment Bank. Now, the swearing of the board members for these banks, Dr. Tuforsen assured that the process should be completed by next year. But why is government moving quickly to take a decision on these banks? Well, the IMF is pushing government to decide on these financial institutions now. That is, move to support and restructure them to compete or shut them down, or possibly merge them. Well, it looks like government went for the option of injecting fresh capital to put these commercial banks on a strong footing.
George, I feel with that report. Now, lending from savings and loan sector increased from 1.7 billion cedis to 2.1 billion by December 2024, representing a 27.2% growth. Speaking at the 15th annual general meeting of the Ghana Association of Savings and Loans Companies in Accra, Chief Executive Kojo attributed the sector's strong performance to strategic lending practices. He noted that the relatively low non-performing loan rate reflects the sector's focus on disbursing funds to support businesses and individuals in a targeted and sustainable manner.
For us, if you look at the savings and loans companies, some of our members actually have single-digit NPL rates, and this is very commendable. Our mode of operation has to do with get closer to the customer, understand the customer needs, and we do not give very big loans. so that we give those that the customer is able to pay what the customer can afford and can pay on time, so that other people can have access to more credit.
You heard Kojo, who is Chief Executive of the Ghana Association of Savings and Loans Companies in Accra. Now, following the International Monetary Fund's review statement, which cautioned government to desist from excessively supplying forex to stabilize the cedi, concerns have been raised about the Bank of Ghana's monetary policy actions and the influence of black market operators. Commenting on this, Professor Boateng called on government to leverage its goodwill and current numbers in Parliament to champion financial sector reforms which will intensify the clampdown on black market operations in the forex market to support the central bank.
This government has the best opportunity, let me put it that way, because practically we don't have opposition in Parliament. So the government has the leverage. In fact, there's a broader support for this government and what they are doing. So they should take advantage of that and initiate far-reaching governance reforms, structural reforms, productivity enhancing reforms, because you've got the numbers in Parliament. In fact, it was the same expectation we had when President Akufo-Addo came to office in 2017, because he had the numbers. The goodwill was there. In fact, the goodwill lasted for more than 3 months.
You had Professor Boateng, who is a finance lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School. The Chamber for Bulk Oil Distributors has said the prices of petroleum products are likely to remain stable at the pumps from the next pricing window, even if the 1 cedi fuel levy is imposed on the 16th of July. The Chamber bases its prediction on favorable economic conditions and stable crude oil prices on the world market. The National Petroleum Authority has already indicated that the rollout of the 1 cedi levy will commence next week after it was suspended. Chief Executive of the Chamber, Dr. Patrick Kwekufori, is hopeful the levy will not unduly burden consumers.
I don't think the prices are going to change. If anything, the consumers are going to benefit by having a reduction. But with the advent of the 1 cedi levy, that may create a bit of panic. But even within that, we seriously suspect that it's going to be a split between the OMCs and the consumers. Not all the OMCs can push the entire 1 cedi to. Government at any point in time decide how he wants to raise the levies. So as an institute, we may not necessarily have an issue with what government are going through their budget and finding out where the revenue shortfalls are and coming up with a means of raising revenue. But our concerns were the needed engagement and then the deliberation that we would have all done.
Dr. Patrick Kwekufori is Chief Executive of the Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors. Now, the Minister of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, Elizabeth Ofosu-Adjare, has charged a newly constituted board of the Ghana Standards Authority to clamp down on the flooding of substandard products on the market. The 12-member board is chaired by Hudu Mukhtari. The minister urged the board to clamp down on substandard goods such as fake cement.
Recently, we've heard in the news substandard products. It is the mandate of the Ghana Standard Authority to ensure that customers are protected, consumers are protected by ensuring that all production houses conform to standards. We also want you to work very hard in the area of Africa Continental Free Trade Area because it's our best bet. We need to do a lot of standard harmonization because once we harmonize our standards with other countries, it makes the trading with those countries very easy under the Africa Continental Free Trade Area.
Trade Minister Elizabeth Ofosu-Adjare said the newly inaugurated board includes West Africa Regional Director for CATS International, Apia Kusi-Adumako, President of the Association of Ghana Industries, Dr. Humphrey Yim-Dake, Acting CEO of the Ghana Shippers Authority, Professor Ransford Edward Van Jampo, among others. Turning next to this other story, Impuntu Technologies and Accra Technical University have entered into a strategic partnership aimed at bridging the gap between academia and industry by equipping students with practical skills through internships, national service placements, and collaborative research opportunities. Speaking to Joy Business, Chief Executive of Impuntu Technologies, Stefan Nwole, echoed the importance of investing in human capital as a critical component of workforce development.
The food for most organizations is a human capital, and the human capital must be trained in such a way that we are being intentional in ensuring that what our customers need, we have the right human resource to meet those customers' needs, and the kind of mindset, the orientation must be trained to be able to do that. So our partnership with Accra Technical University serves as that gap. So it is going to bridge the gap between academia and the world of work. So it gives us opportunity to take advantage of the students, take them through an internship program, and also nurturing them to also be employed over a period of time.
All right, that was Chief Executive of Imponto Technology, Stefan Wole. Now, the country managing partner of EY Ghana, Emmanuel Adekaholo, is calling on government to address challenges in the informal sector to improve tax revenue mobilization. Speaking to Joy Business at the launch of EY Ghana's 25th anniversary, Mr. Adekaholo says government must build trust and inclusion within the tax system to ensure sustainable economic growth.
The informal sector of our economy is quite a large one. And so I can understand the challenges we have as a country mobilizing revenue. But again, given the size of that sector, is the area we need to be able to crack to improve the revenue mobilization. I mean, we've been following some of the initiatives that government and the government agencies are putting in place. They are beginning to yield results, but I think a lot more is required to be able to tap that sector. Because if we are getting so much from the same formalized sector, what happens is that the incidence and the burden of tax becomes too much on those very few.
Country managing partner of EY Ghana, Emmanuel Adekaholo there. Now, on today's edition of Investor Eye, Head of FinTech and Innovation at the Bank of Ghana, Kwame Opon, emphasizes the need for citizens to report fraudulent mobile money cases to enable the appropriate authorities act accordingly. Take a listen.
One of the cultural issues I was highlighting, the cultural dynamics there, people never follow through, and this makes it very difficult for us to fully be able to hold people accountable, and they go out there and treat, defraud the next victim. You have to save not just yourself, but you have an obligation to speak up so that someone else may be saved from these same fraudsters.
And that's Investor Eye. Thanks for listening, everyone. Before we go, here's a look at the markets. On the commodity market, crude oil trading at $70 a barrel. This morning, gold increased by more than $10. Is selling at $3,323 an ounce. Cocoa gained $286, open trading at $8,376 a ton. On the currency market, the dollar going for 12 cedis 30 pesos. That's what some forex bureaus are offering clients. The British pound 16 cedis 80 pesos. The euro going for 14 cedis 20 pesos. The commercial banks quoting the dollar at 10 cedis 42 pesos. More news on our website, myjoyline.com/business. My name is Daryl Kwao. Thanks for listening. The Super Morning Show continues. Here's Winston.
Thank you very much, Daryl. So, crude oil, $70.
$70
It's gone up.
It's gone up by $1. Wow.
Okay. Let's
still
see.
money chain is still at a safe place. So.
Oh no, it's okay. It's okay. I still need that 64 though. I like I like it when it's low.
Yeah.
So we don't get
everybody
to pay much for all of that, because for those of us who drive around the country, I'm always in. I get to the farm. You probably. One of my friends, his name is Calvin Chepo, who's an APSA branch manager. Calvin Chepo. He was telling me that, Charlie, right now it be so funeral. Like where we've reached. You have your friends losing their parents, and then so you are
here to be attending one funeral or the other.
So. You drive around, funeral tourism, and so you look at the fuel and you're like, hey, see, Abutru.
Charlie.
That's always the issue, you understand? So it's our prayer that even though Ghana benchmark crude oil revenue at $74.7, we can do 64. It's okay. It's okay. We'll find the rest of the money.
Yeah.
And you know the other thing, in private conversations with GRA workers, they tell you that, Charlie, their target, because of the appreciation of the Ghana cedi, it's actually affecting import duties. Yeah. So they're actually worried. Anyway, we'll get into it. Thank you very much, Daryl. Our inspirational song for today, one by Daughters of Glorious Jesus. Asida. So let's
We
enjoy
give thanks.
As daughters of glorious Jesus, what I said here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. Good morning, Blessed.
Good morning, Winston.
How you doing?
I'm happy we are gradually getting there. Friday is just a day.
Oh, you love Friday too, eh? Were you born on a Friday?
Yes.
Oh, that's
but
nice.
aside that, there's something really special about Fridays. So,
well, the special thing about Friday is that once it is Friday, you know that on Saturday you're not in a hurry to wake up at dawn. But you know, we're actually getting into the political season. So I know, for instance, that next weekend the NPP goes for conference, and what that means is that we have to be there.
24-hour economy.
I tell you, it means we have to get ready and then go and Charlie, some way, but
I hear some UG boys are doing some agenda asking management to try and change the venue. I don't know if that will work actually.
Well, that's I don't know what that's going to happen, but hey, all I know is that we have to plan for that.
Whatever the case, yes,
we have to. So let's get into our Drive Safe campaign.
And the Drive Safe campaign is brought to you by Joy News and the Multimedia Group and supported by Toyota Superior Quality. Humidity is very high, visibility is low now. Winston, I'm sure when you're driving here, you could also notice that as well. So the advice to you this morning is to avoid all distraction. Keep both eyes on the road and hands on the steering wheel. Be visible, drive with your lights on, and that's how to ensure that you arrive safe. And so your safe arrival matters to us, and this is brought to you by Toyota Superior Quality.
Okay, so let's learn how to say it right. And it's brought to us by Kingdom Books. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmarks, and Societe Generale Bank Ghana, the future is you.
Something must be done.
Okay, so let's do this again. Let's do a very simple one.
I hope we're not doing Pepper this morning.
Oh no! So let's do CUCUMBER.
That's where the confusion comes in.
CUCUMBER. Give it a try. Give it a try. Give it a try.
So if I go to the market and say I want to buy cucumber, that would sound some way.
If you actually say cucumber, it's what we normally would say, pronounce it like that here. But it's actually cucumber.
I see.
So the U is the first one. It's in the first syllable. So cucumber.
Our shopping list is almost ready.
Cucumber. I see.
Now, if you are doing groceries, we'll say, Pacho Mami, pepper. Give me tomatoes.
No, tomato is American. So tomato is British.
And today you're coming with another one.
Cucumber.
I see.
Yes, cucumber.
Cucumber.
Yes, cucumber. So that's how. So it's not cucumber. Not cucumber like we normally would also say. Samuel Dam is laughing there. Cucumber. So that's how you say it, right? Okay.
You're gradually forcing Sami not to give.
No, you should just learn
job money anymore.
Oh, if you can give.
They will return from the market with nothing. You go. I need tomatoes, pepper,
tomato, toast. If you say you need toast,
they'll come back and say we didn't find anything in the market.
No, why if you say you want to buy? If you say you want to buy in toast, nobody will force you. But if you want to go and do your, if you go and you want to see Pacham in toast, that's it.
Yeah, but it's always good to learn and say it right. Yeah. So once again, cucumber.
Yes.
Right.
So you got it right, and that's how you say it right. Okay. Just keep that in mind. Which means we can now bring you the newspaper review brought to us by Syntex Tank. You're strong, you're tough. And Access Bank, more than banking. And then Kel Chaco toothpaste. Happy smile. Okay.
Let's get into the papers now. Daily Guide. Court rejects injunction against the Electoral Commission. I see that the NPP parliamentary candidates for Ablekuma North, Equia also free is having some conversation with Gary Nimako here. I don't know if they want to change strategy, but that detail you can find on page 3 of the Daily Guide newspaper. So it appears that all is now clear for the rerun of Ablekuma North election. Now, reduced forex market intervention, that's coming through from the International Monetary Fund to government. And there's also the story about Muhammad's LGBTQ abstention at the United Nations. The foreign minister has been providing some clarity, saying that it's about the renewal of tenure. We'll get into the details shortly. Then 6 nabbed over ritual murder killings. It appears that there are some serial killings happening in some parts of the country, which the Daily Guide is talking about. So these are some of the main stories that we find on the Daily Guide this morning.
Now, the Business and Financial Times says PIAC's operations crippled as government withdraws direct oil revenue funding. Accurate oil and gas measurement can save economy. And then oil palm industry faces 50,000 metric tons deficit. Digitalization can curb favoritism in university appointments. And Absa Bank opens new branch in Kaswa to deepen financial access.
I see. The minority is out again, hard on the foreign minister. Minority blows alarm over $1.2 million passport relaunch scandal. It comes with a picture of the Bosomifero MP, Asafo J, who's raising the concerns. Then sports minister promises to fix, upgrade Baba Yara. Is it Baba Yara? Baba Yara.
You said what? Baba?
I was almost speaking of it.
No, you said Baba Yara. See, we understand.
Yeah,
we understand. You know, some names.
Yeah, some names.
So once you see,
I say
yeah.
Baba Yara.
That's your name, right?
Yes. I mean, if you're translating my name, that's it.
Yes. So
Sampine charges youth, NPP youth, then court clears way for Ablekuma North election rerun.
Great. And so the daily graphic for today says, report illegal gold dealers for reward. President Mahamat's inauguration of Gold Board Task Force. And then Trade Ministry holds national dialogue on first agribusiness policy. Government releases 4 billion to pay road contractors. The Deputy Minister for Roads and Highways will tell us more when he joins us this morning. And President commiserates with U.S. government on Texas flooding. Natural gas supply to increase Sunday, measure to stabilize power sector. That's according to John Abdullahi Jinapo, who is Ghana's Energy and Green Transition Minister. Now, the back page, veterinary service receives lab equipment to boost animal health. And Volta region set to host trade and investment fair. The Daybreak newspaper this morning says GPHA begins 24-hour operations. Fake dollar notes. U.S. Embassy, National Security collaborate, and government vows to combat piracy. And then Bande, Mustafa Fuyu Bande, wades into Baumia's aid appointment. A lot of controversy in there. Before we get to the online issue, I just want to say this. I don't know. We've reduced political appointments to reward systems, and it's actually part of our problem in this country. The fact that anybody who gets a position to serve the state sees it as a reward for what he did in the past. So whether you see the thing, for him is an opportunity to grab. So all of a sudden, the conversation is about the foot soldiers are angry. They haven't been giving any position. I thought governance was about service to the country, and so you choose the best people who can serve. Unfortunately, what we have done is just reduce it to who shouted the most in some instances, or who's able to show contribution to party victory the most. Give them a position, and that's the end of it.
It's quite synonymous to our political system, the spoils and patronage system, you want to call it, because obviously it's about who went to war with you and who's enjoying the booties as well, quote and unquote. So that's what's sad about our democracy, the fact that it's highly polarized. So if you're not with us, the automatic assumption is that you're on the other side, and I think this is where we need to build bridges. I mean, almost all the CSOs have been speaking about this for years, but I don't know why the political class doesn't seem interested, because there are some fine brains, Winston, you agree, who are not necessarily linked to the NDC now, who could have proffered solutions, brought on board their expertise to develop this nation. In the end, it's about improving our livelihood. So yeah, that's what we should be looking at, in my view.
Exactly. Even if the person can perform, the person will perform. I mean, all of us, when the former government statistician, Professor Kobene Nim, people came out and said, no, keep this man, because that man delivered. I mean, for the first time, we actually read documents that showed items that were pushing the inflation rate up. And how, I mean, so today he set the tone, he set the pace, and people have, and anybody who comes in would follow. I say, let us get our best human resource to transform the economy.
And what you would often find is that when these people become frustrated, then they leave the country. So they are contributing to someone else's development, because all the top institutions will be, will have their arms wide open to receive the likes of Professor Neem and the others that you're talking about. They'll take them because they are fine brains, and they'll make use of them. I recall, but Dr. Nimoy Thompson is back, I believe. I mean,
yes, he's around.
I mean, he was with the Development Commission.
Yeah, he's around.
At the time, he was working on a 40-year, or was it a 40-year development plan?
40-year development plan.
Yeah, these are all people who we need to retain, regardless of the kind of politics that we may be doing at the national level. So yeah, I think we need to look at that.
Okay, let's get into the online news review. It's brought to us by Zenith Bank. Zenith Bank, in your best interest. What's on myjoyonline.com?
Okay, myjoyonline.com is talking about the Ablekuma North election rerun. NPP isn't our competition. They are participants. That's according to Mustafa Gmandi. The NPP says they would not be a part of that election. But I'm wondering how that will be possible, knowing that tallying has started and you still have your candidate's picture on the ballot. That's my only difficulty. So I don't know if it's a boycott or
it means they're not going to they're not going to campaign,
right?
And once they're not going to campaign, you wouldn't have a lot of their members showing out to vote, which means that, look, we're not part of this.
Yeah. quite a sad one though, for the NPP. I think Global Info Analytics is also out indicating that the voter turnout might be low in the area. I don't know if it's out of fatigue, and probably disinterest in the whole exercise.
This particular constituency, also because of how the Electoral Commission had conducted itself, we will not rerun. Then there's a rerun, and the rerun, less than 2 weeks for the rerun. It actually
takes away the shine.
Takes away the shine. So, and the NPP also had indicated, 2 days ago, their unwillingness to contest in there. So that actually,
the interest is down.
Actually, yes, affected the interest.
Okay, looks like a walk in the park for Rabna Obin, where we do not know what the outcome of the election will be, but let's see what then happens. Mahama Sachs Ambulance Service CEO Dr. Nuhu Zakaria, that's the latest dismissal that we're learning of, and there's also the story, very gruesome murder actually, and Winston, we're just learning about that this morning, that some Chinese national and a Ghanaian driver were shot dead at a Galamsey site in Subri Nkwanta. It's just painting the picture of how increasingly Galamsey is becoming a dangerous venture, and we need to take a second look at that.
Whenever I listen to that audio of the Chinese ambassador to Ghana asking, how do the Chinese get to these sites? I feel embarrassed as a Ghanaian. Look, if government is committed to fighting Galamsey, Sam George, when in opposition, said if the commander-in-chief is so minded, he can deal with this. It is true. If the government is interested in fighting illegal mining, it can fight it. It won't last more than 1 month. But there's this story on myjoyonline.com. The burnt body of missing immigration officer found at.
In fact, I saw that last night as well.
Look, and so this story says the partly burnt body of a 38-year-old immigration officer has been discovered at Aboom Junction near Kwabenya in the Greater Accra region, 5 days after his family declared him missing. Now, the frustrated family of Stephen King Amoah, also known as Nana Kofi, lodged a complaint with the Taifa police on July 4 at about 4:30 p.m. after several attempts to reach the deceased on his phone proved futile. Now, he is said to have left his Jinyami house, Musuku Junction at Kwabenya, to meet a friend at the Shoman Estate, also in Accra, for a discussion. Now, his brother, Akwesi Amoah, who confirmed the death to myjoyonline.com, said Amoah's body was riddled with stab wounds in the chest and neck, and according to it, was partly burnt as his alleged killers attempted to burn the body, believed to have been wrapped in a woolen carpet at a spot on the Aboom Abokobi Road. And the body has been deposited at the police hospital mortuary after being identified by Amoah and other relatives. And so that's the situation. We're told that, Kwabenya Circuit Court on Monday remanded into custody a 36-year-old man identified as a friend of Amoah. And the story we've been told also is that this man, got married in 2018, and they're blessed with a 4-year-old boy and a 5-month-old baby.
Very sad one.
And the fact that he was owed some money, 200,000, by his friend, and the friend called him to come for the money. So he informed his wife that he was going for the money, and then he went. Later on, they sent a message from his phone to his wife that I am at home. But the wife became suspicious, called the husband,
and noticed something wasn't
phone wasn't being answered. Phone then is off. Called the husband's brother to check up whether the brother is home. He wasn't home, and that's when they started finding out. Looking for him.
I'm just wondering, how come someone would plan all of this out, map it out intentionally? It shows how bad the situation was actually. And
if you
very sad.
And you're not prepared to pay, why take my life? You've come for my money. You're supposed to pay me. Let's say you don't have the money.
Just ask for more time.
Ask for more time. Must you kill me because I say pay me my money? But you see, we need to. And one of the stories on my Joy Online is about the 18-year-olds who've been
exactly the serial killing that I was just talking about.
Yes. So we need to understand a few things. Why? I mean, they're engaged in robbery.
Yeah, robbery, actually.
And, the way the young ones are engaged in violence, we need to understand why our younger ones, and we saw the situation in Kaswa where the teenagers actually killed their a friend for rituals, money rituals. I mean, how?
Really sad. We just hope that the security agencies will moving fast and act. Winston, it appears that John Mahama has a complete set of his ministers now, because James Jachi Kwesen and 3 others have made it to the final list, the final batch of ministerial or deputy ministerial nominees. So here's a summary of the list for you, or in fact the entire list, because there are just 4. You have the MP Dorcas Tofe being nominated as the Deputy Minister for Transport. James Jachi Kwesen is back in that executive list. He's heading right to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And then you have Adam Suparo, who's also an MP, making it to the list as Deputy Ministerial nominee for Communications, Digital Technology and Innovation. Then Dr. Grace Ayensu Dankwa is also heading to the Ministry of Health. So that's the complete set of 60 ministers that the NDC promised to deliver. So it was quite a tough one for the president, I believe, because if you have over 180 MPs, all of them trying to catch your eyes, definitely you'd have some challenges in getting that complete list.
I think that, yes, at least 60 ministers, that's what he promised. But what the president showed us was that you could have actually done with less than 60. Yes, he's shown that you can do with less than 60. So
you wanted, we beat it down to 50, 40 maybe?
Oh, we can.
Yeah.
We can.
Yeah.
I mean, what the president has shown means that you can.
You can work with that.
You can work with that. I mean, we have ministers of state and you don't really need them. Do you need them? That was really the role of the deputy minister.
And there's this attachment when you get an appointment from the presidency. Your base, your constituency, everybody seems to be clinching on just latching on to the victory, and to say, oh, the president has recognized our MP, probably he or she may have been doing something right. The optics of it, I'm sure that's what's driving a lot of people to catch the president's eye.
And also it must be stated that members of parliament should not get anywhere close to the executive. This whole system we must stop. I am not a believer in the the British system. Okay, because if you want to be a member of parliament, go and be a member of parliament.
If you want to be a minister of state,
go and be a minister.
Let's say good morning to Professor H. Prempe.
Yes,
he has a lot of work to do. City Newsroom also has a few stories there. Probably we just run through them quickly. There's also another case of a murder, right? 21-year-old. A 21-year-old is being killed by robbers. And in fact, last night I was having that conversation with Dr. Adam Bona, who's now Executive Secretary for the Small Arms Commission. It appears that so many people are in possession of light weapons now, and maybe that's what's leading to this heightened crime that we are also seeing. People just killing all over the place. We hope that the security agencies will act. ADB set for recapitalization in 2026, and that's according to the Finance Minister, Dr. Kesela Tofosen. Also, no nationwide blackout on July 13. You recall the Energy Minister was giving us hints that this weekend we might see some repair works going on some of the plants, but he says it won't be a nationwide blackout, so don't take it out of context. According to the Energy Minister, we can only wait to see what will happen on that day. But Simmons is accusing EMP of misleading the public over the Black Volta Gold deal. He has his reasons, which is posted on his social media platforms. And $367 million IMF disbursement hits Bank of Ghana account. And then there's a talk about the Ablikuma North as well. We won't contest the election. We've already won. Oh, so the NPP says they've won.
But they went to court. They were unsuccessful in injuncting it. But let me say good morning to Nora Efriye, who's listening to us this morning. Good morning to you, Nora Efriye. But listen, this one says, good morning. I think we can even work with 19 ministers.
19?
Yes, great day. That argument
how possible would that be?
That argument is actually because Cabinet is supposed to be not more than 19. So it says the framers of the Constitution believed that that's how you have to go about it. I still think that we don't need regional ministers.
Well, but when you have a regional coordinating council,
yes,
perhaps for political interest, you want a political appointee on top there.
Coordinating director. Yeah. Keep him there.
You know the politicians don't like working too closely with the civil servants.
Keep him there.
They would want their interest there.
Oh no, keep him there. Keep him there. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
I don't think we need ministers in the regions, and I say this as a son of a former regional minister. But I still think that we don't. We don't need regional ministers. Okay. Anyway, let's get into the BBC News now, and it's brought to us by Fidelity Bank. Fidelity Bank, believe with us.
Meet the farmers and